Hi, my name's Tasha Mulford and I am a financial advisor at Frizzell Wealth Management, which is a partner practice of St James's Place. I decided to change careers recently, having been a maths teacher and a head of year at a local secondary school, and I'm really enjoying my job as a financial advisor.
Hello, my name is Laura North. I am a partner at SJP under Laura North Financial Planning. Previously, I was a college lecturer teaching business and finance for just over 16 years. And I'm also a mum of 2 boys and a wife.
So there were 2 main reasons I decided to change career. One was because I wanted a better work-life balance. I found that with teaching, I was dedicating most of my time and my life to the job, which is great, obviously, in some respects, but not for my mental health. So it got to a point where I needed to make quite a drastic change. The second reason was I'd already become a maths teacher and head of year, and I felt like I'd peaked a bit in my career. I think a lot of teaching progression is about going into management and senior leadership. And for me, that wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to be in front of the children, helping them. And I felt like I'd reached the end of the road. So that's where, I got to the point where I thought I need to change this up and change careers. What about you?
It sounds very, very similar. I think obviously being in the teaching profession is such a difficult job to do. And similar to you, really. I hadn't long had my second child, and I had him just before the COVID lockdown. So I think just previously I had a bit of reflection time. And that time away just kind of made me think back at my career and had I achieved everything I wanted to achieve. I really needed some flexibility and I needed some kind of recognition and acknowledgement for everything I'd kind of been doing. You work so hard, don't you, as a teacher, all day, every weekend, every holiday. And I think I needed something where I was prepared to put everything into it, but get some kind of reward and recognition.
So what attracted me to financial advice was the fact that I'd actually always wanted to go into the financial services, but I didn't really know what role I could do other than be an accountant. So I left that on the sideline, went into education, and then got to this point where I reevaluated what I did want to do long term, which was to work in finance and financial services. Actually working as a financial advisor allowed me to be working with people and helping them to reach their goals, which was essentially exactly what I was doing with children, but just in a different way with adults. The SJP Academy really stood out to me when I read a newspaper article about how to get into financial services, which was written by an SJP partner. She talked about trying to recruit more females to the business and the fact that SJP had a massive push on this. And, part of what I could do then by becoming a financial advisor was to help people reach their goals, but also try and advocate for women who need to access advice more. And by being one of the 17% of advisors in the UK that are female, I could help plug that gap. So I felt like I could really make a difference. And the SJP programme really stood out to me because from my first interactions with the recruiters, I knew that it was really well organised and I was going to be really well supported throughout the career change, because obviously it is a big step to do something new. And I knew that I'd need to be really well supported through that. And that's exactly what I had from the outset from my first conversations. What about you?
I came across it kind of accidentally, the St James's Place Academy and financial advice. So I was actually I was trying to find a guest speaker to come in to talk to my T-level finance students because I was launching a new qualification. And I basically did some research and I stumbled across it. And the more I looked into it, I read all the brochures, I read the website, and I rang them because I said, is this really a thing? Like, I thought it's not just for students, it was for me as well. So, and I think the more I got to know about it and the more I got to know about financial advice, actually it was very similar, if you like, to what I was doing, but in teaching, because I had been teaching business and finance for a long, long time. So I knew a lot about running a business and how to run a business, but equally, I kind of had a bit of a finance understanding as well. So it just felt like my worlds were kind of amalgamating, really. and I could put my kind of theory and knowledge but with my experience and skills together. For me, I cannot believe even now how transferable going from teaching to being a financial advisor is now, and running my own business, for example. So everything from, I think the main thing is those individual needs, learning about the individual, building those relationships and that trust. It's something that I had to do with all my students. They were all different levels, all different backgrounds, and being really adaptable to all of those different people. Planning, I mean, how many times did you plan your year, you plan your week, you plan your day. So planning was kind of like a natural thread and organisation through what we did before and what we do now. What about you? What things do you think transferred over?
I was going to say the same three. So being a good communicator, building those long-term lasting relationships like we were so used to doing with children, and also being a super planner, because essentially what we're doing now is getting, helping adults to reach their goals. And we did that with children because we were trying to help them reach either their sort of personal life goals or their academic goals. So I definitely agree with you on those things. I think the fourth one for me is being a really good listener. And that's what we had to do as teachers. Really listening and understanding what that individual needs to feel successful.
I think we both agree, though, that hard work ethic, hours, putting in a shift, being really, really resilient. And changing with the times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No academic year was the same. No student was the same. Yeah, and the same exactly in the finance sector.
Okay, so the impact it's had on my personal life is incredible. I feel so much more in control of my work, and what I mean by that is having that work-life balance that I strive for, because I can manage my time a lot more flexibly and choose what I want to do and when to do it. I also think that my whole family has noticed my demeanour changing. I mentioned earlier that I really had to make that change for my own mental health, and there were days in work that I really did feel super stressed with teaching. And I'm not saying I don't get stressed now in my job as a financial advisor, but I feel like it's so much more manageable because it's not constant. I think the impact it's had on my professional life is that I really feel like I've got the level of challenge that I need. Yeah. What about you, Laura?
I think professionally, I've got a recognition of fire and drive and excitement. And I feel like I'm making a genuine difference, and I'm having a real positive impact in people's lives, which I'd previously lost. Recognition, acknowledgement, achievement, every day I'm working hard, but I feel like I'm moving forward, I'm making progress every day. So that's really important to me. And having that time back, which kind of now connects straight on to the personal question, because personally, I'm able to, go to sports day quite happily. And I've met some amazing people. I'm sure you have too, but having had such a long career in teaching, you build such long relationships. But I feel like already, I've built some really wonderful, long-lasting relationships within the SJP community. So I'm really grateful for that too.
Yeah, I think one of those things that helps build those relationships is being on a programme which has lots of people doing career changes, and that you're all in the same position just for different personal reasons. And it was so nice to be at that stage of my life with other people that were also considering that transition. So I think that really has helped build those long-term relationships with colleagues.